Hey, how's it going, everyone? Mark Anderson here, construction worker turned zero DT hedge fund manager. Today, I wanted to go over a little bit of a fun trade. It's been big in the Options Omega Discord, and I actually think there's edge in it, even though it's curve fit. So the first thing to kind of explain here is that this is based upon what's called market on close orders. So basically, what market on close orders are is it's a type of order that is executed at the end of the trading day, specifically at the market's close. People use these market on close orders when they want to buy or sell a security at the closing price. This is particularly important to basically mutual funds that calculate their net asset value or their NAV based on the close of the day. And all of these orders are basically always submitted at 350 each day. So there's kind of a phenomenon here at the end of each month that there is a large market on close imbalance basically. So mutual funds' last day to rebalance is on the last day of the month. Not all mutual funds rebalance monthly, some do quarterly, but predominantly they do monthly. So you could see here, I'll run you through the base of the test. We're basically going long straddle at 348. I have these specific dates in here of basically the market on close dates, and we're just going long this. So I know this is very curve fitty that we just have certain dates, but it kind of makes sense what we're looking at. And you can see here that for going long with no risk of ruin, we have a 61% capture, and it's pretty consistent. And also the risk to reward is quite appealing, where we look at our max winners here basically is, we have 6,000, we have a $26,000 winner. Like some of these are quite ridiculous. Then we look at our max losers and 2,000, 4,000, 4,000, 1,200, 1,100. They're pretty small in general. And even though this may be curve fitty, I kind of want to explain what's happening is that there's this massive, part of the market that's 401ks, mutual funds that all need to rebalance and they need to submit these orders. And it's actually very easy to witness basically how this phenomenon goes. I'll also link this, but Financial Juice every day at 350 will basically post the imbalance of what it is. So it'll say, hey, the S&P, and this is what we're looking at because we're looking at the SPXs, you'll see basically some numbers, here potentially in the billions that it's a massive market on close number. So, we can go here to November 29th. We had a 3 billion market on close, which you could see is much bigger than all these other days. And, what happened on that day, the market absolutely ripped. So we could even add another layer of basically complexity here is at 350. If this we're looking to take this trade and we see, $3.8 billion market on close imbalance, basically 10 times larger than kind of an average day or other days. We obviously, want to go long when that happens. And even though this isn't a trade that I would, systematically deploy because it only happens once a month and we can't really make money, like a huge amount of money off it without taking a massive amount of risk, this is an example of a trade that if you have a small account and you want to run a one lot or risk $1,000 or 1% of your account, that there's clearly edge here, but we just can't run it, indefinitely all the time. And you see here is we're basically credit targeting. We're going to take a $5,000 allocation and basically see what happens. And it's been a very, very, very robust trade. I will pull some longer dates with stuff. Another thing that I'll kind of open up to you guys as well is you have the dates here, so you can feel free to kind of like play around with what that looks like. You can also see here, if we were to change it to basically sell and what would happen, we're going to have, not a very good expected return with what that looks like. So it's just something to note that even though this may look curve fitting and it's a little different than what I traditionally do, is since we can start with the edge and we can say, hey, here's our edge. Here's why the edge exists. These mutual funds are rebalancing. The data clearly shows that there's a massive imbalance on these days. Then we should potentially take that. And I've played around with this a little bit too, where it's like, okay, how, when should I start taking it? And I think that's around a couple billion. So yesterday, massive move at the end of day. We're in the billion here. You could see here, I don't know what happened on the 20th, I would have to look, but another massive one. So it may be a good idea to take a trade on this. The other thing too, if you don't want to mess with options, you could also just go long future. So you go long ES future on something like this, and maybe it rides a little bit towards the end of that, or you like the flexibility with it. Another thing that I've been experimenting with on this as well is maybe I start as a long straddle and then I sell it off to lock in whatever that profit may be, or we add a profit take or something. So there's a bunch of different things you guys can do with this. Again, I'll have the dates here. This is basically a custom signal test on how we do this. It does have to be in this format on Options Omega. I just wanted to get this out before the end of month because I thought everyone could potentially benefit from it. And I also wanted to show how, as long as you can justify where that edge comes from, and we start with the edge, we really don't necessarily need crazy mechanics or anything special, because this trade, it makes complete sense why mutual funds are rebalancing. There's a huge demand and an aggregate imbalance on what that buy is going to be. So therefore, if we go long, we're most likely going to make money. And for a long trade to have a positive expectancy, especially this large, is absolutely ludicrous. This doesn't work on many other days. I'll work on pulling some data here for, let's say, in close balances above 2 billion, and we can kind of see what long future works on that. But I think this could be a cool trade and a script that we could run with a lot of people, and it's a value to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Try it out this month. I know end of month's coming up, and let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it.